Seriously. Oops. All right. Oh. Don't know that I like that. It is frickin' -13 outside. And it is also cold in here, so the heater is going to be on, so it's going to growl. You can probably hear it in the background. I'm just going to double check that I am, yep, okay. I have coffee, so hopefully I don't pass out. Actually, just like hide that. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. A little too orange. No, I'm a little too dark. That's better. Okay, so I'm going to begin to prepare to proceed to mess. So I was like, I was working away, and I wanted to. So there's an issue outstanding. Actually, we can just even go to the issue, and that is that there are over 1,000 lexicons listed in lexicon.garden. And that number is steadily rising. So there have been concerns about this. And what I was going to do was start to map those out, because that's what this is. This is a sense atlas, and that's what it does. And so I'm just going to load up so that I can read it. I actually have it over here, but I am going to load it up in another window outside on another machine. File 22601. What is it? 24. Lexicon taxonomy. What was that called? Yes, it was. Okay. So there is a concern, one concern in this. I'm just doing this in the order that I wrote it down. I'm just taking, so like what I'm going to do is I'm taking something that I jotted down in a outliner, and I'm going to put it into this, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it into a Google Doc, and then I'm going to post that to the discourse forum. Not Discord, discourse. Anyway, so yeah, and the dot in the middle represents this. So, okay, and this is, so this was a few people. Christian Jacobs came to me with this. A lot of people have been talking about it, though. Ted Hahn at Alia. Okay, so there is, so there's a concern that technical content, oops, not here, or there might even be something in here though. Right, okay, so users come into the atmosphere looking for, what does it also say? So, actually, I don't know if this is well, whatever, we'll just put this down. Users come into the atmosphere looking for compatible apps, like atproto compatible apps. application domains. I don't know, whatever. How about a verb in there? Are they though? Actually, like, this is a question. Are they though? Are users actually looking for? Whatever. So that was just in there. There's another situation which is that there's the semantic content. There's likely a non-trivial amount of collisions, semantic collisions are likely to be occurring and semantic collisions are likely occurring between lexicons. Likely increase the number as more apps. Increases more developed. I don't know why it rotates like that. It's very. I could probably figure it out, but I don't want to. Too lazy. Okay. That should, yeah. So, where am I here? Let's actually find that paper. God. Okay. Just generalize as developers. Actually, this is something actually, well, let's just do this. Developers. May not This is not very interesting shape. Provide a, where are we here? Likewise, an existing lexicon can cover much of the developer's needs, which they could extend by a subclass or mix it, even if so. It should just be like even. Maybe this is like this is a generalization. Even if the coverage was partial. Coverage of an existing, even if an existing lexicon provided partial coverage, Jesus. Oh yeah. Get the coffee onto the paper. Good job. So even if somebody could subclass, a developer could subclass. Can you do mix-ins on a? Developer could extend it via subclass. Makes sense. I don't actually know. Anyway, I am going to respond to this, and that is provide a search for lexicons. I learned how lexidons. Provide a search for lexicons. Atproto lexicons by theme and or semantic content. Okay, and then this needs to go back up to here. Go back. Hey, try to make this more interesting. Come on, you bastard. I mean, search is a very specific thing, so I'm probably going to change that to actually say something else. Users going to the atmosphere, blah, 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 simplification domains. Same time, users are coming in looking for a particular output benefit. So this actually, I mean, thematic content, just whatever. We'll just do this. Whatever. This is going to make a mess. Maybe not so much. This is still going to be a mess. Yes, it is. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Just going to figure out where this goes. Create a taxonomy of atproto app themes. That's where. Where'd you go? Okay. Create a taxonomy for atproto. Ugh. I don't know how that's actually supposed to be styled, but whatever. Create a taxonomy for atproto app themes. And then this is going to generalize tagging lexicons rather than apps with how do we represent the taxonomy itself? This is how we're going to do it. How do we represent? Oops, that's not where I wanted it. Let's go back here. Making a mess already. Hasn't populated yet. Hey. answer is, actually, this is what I was going to do. Create a taxonomy for proto-app themes. Taxonomy stuff. This is a bit of a rhetorical question. Create a lexicon. Ooh. Lexicon for concept schemes. This is going to be a sub guy of, what was that one? This one. This one. This one. Okay, well, we're not going to do that. We're going to go over here. Create a lexicon for concept schemes. Create a taxonomy for atproto themes. Concept schemes in general. This is actually quite snappy right now. But it's funny, like Sense Atlas takes freaking forever to load because of the caching matter. But once all this stuff is cached, and it actually performs okay enough to use, but not okay enough to like develop. Anywho, let's just get back to that. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do this, and I'm going to make this a, oops, this, and then I'm going to, what did I just say? Is this a guy? Is this guy? It's not this guy. It's this guy. Create a lexicon. I want to actually, I was like, there's like one place where an LLM, or not even an LLM, just an LM, would be super useful. And that is, are we going? Okay. And that is like trying to match the existing entities so that like so it can do a fuzzy match on stuff, and I don't have to like think about like, you know, exact wording and things. Like that would actually be like a super useful application of an LLM, or not an LLM, not even an LLM, just an LM. Just a medium language model would probably do. Okay, create a taxonomy for blah, blah, blah. How would we represent the taxonomy itself? Okay, create a lexicon for concept schemes in general. Is there prior art? Is there prior art we can use? This is also a rhetorical question. Is there prior art we can use for a concept? Of course there is. The answer is abso-freaking-lutely. Port SCOS tubes. This will be a as you can can see. I'll just like pick a random one here. Create a lexicon for concept schemes in general. Why would we create a lexicon? Well, we can just make an argument for that. A lexicon for concept schemes. Would be good. Create a lexicon for concept schemes in general. That would be like, you know, you could basically categorize stuff. Within the protocol. What did I actually say? I mean, this is sort of like, well, you know what? This I'm going to come back to this. Where is the tagging? This one? Yes, tag lexicons. So, lexicons are a larger common factor. Lexicons represent a larger common factor than individual apps. What else did I say? I want to do like examples. Like this is where I kind of wish that I had like vanilla notes. I could just like tag with arbitrary notes. I haven't implemented that yet. Anyway. I mean, even if two whatever, I'll just put it here. Who knows? I don't know. Yes. Okay. Where are we at? Create a taxonomy for atproto app themes. What other benefits would there be? I mean, how would we represent taxonomy self? Well, I mean, create a lexicon for app schemes in general, or for concept schemes in general. What would the benefits be? Come on, little bastard. There we go. Create a lexicon for concept schemes in general. Create a lexicon for concept schemes in general. Port SCOS to atproto lexicon. Let's put SCOS in there. The other thing that I need to is I need like an asynchronous subsystem. Did that go or not? Swear to God. Okay. Where I like the reference one better. Whatever. Like I need an asynchronous subsystem so that I can do link previews, etc. Like a bunch of other things actually. Like link previews is one thing I want to be able to do. And I just like we're not there yet. We got like there's this infrastructure is I got a whole that's gonna be a whole thing. But it's gonna be interesting. Where the hell am I? I don't like this too. This is a little not right. Like it should definitely do that, but not so extreme. It definitely does it. It's like less extreme when there's more stuff. Like the math is just not right. But I got other things to do before I can fix it. Okay. Where the hell am I here? Okay. Yes, lexicon memberships or categories can be self-selected by. So, tag lexicons, and I actually said that already, didn't I? Yes, lexicons represent the larger common factor. Yes, they do. It's kind of funny, like these sawteeth structure that kind of comes out of this. It's very common, I've found. Okay, lexicon taxonomy. Publish both the taxonomy and the index of lexicons. Okay, so. Like, I guess the thing is like, if you were going to argue, where did this go? Like, why would you? And then I guess the answer to that is like, why would you not? Right? Like, Why would you not do this? In fact, I'm just going to say that. Like, why would you not? Why would, yeah. This is the thing, this is why I don't make a good engineer. I don't have engineering brain. Like an engineer's brain is like, why would we do this thing that is obviously good? Why would we spend the effort? Prove to me that we should spend the effort to do this thing that's obviously good. Why should we do this obviously good thing? And I come at it from the point of view of a designer, and I say, why would you not? Why would you not do the obviously good thing that was obvious? Why would you have to litigate? Why would you have to go off and do a study to prove that the obvious thing was obviously good so that you can get, like, yeah. So this is why I don't get along with engineers. In general. Where's the taxonomy? Is it? Create taxonomy. For one, you could publish. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. Instead of, where'd you go? One, you could publish the taxonomy to the protocol. We'll just call it the app index. I want to have, because the app index would actually be distinct from the taxonomy to the protocol. There should be the taxonomy concepts itself. You would be able to reuse okay, so you would be able to reuse. You would concepts, Jesus Christ, taxonomy concepts would exist as identifiable objects. No. Jesus. What exists as identifiable objects. That seems manifestly good. Why would you do the obviously good thing? I'm just making up a guy to be mad at, by the way. I'm not actually, I don't have anybody in particular in mind today. And the appendix. This implies. Where is the other guy? What happened to you? Is this it? Exists within identifiable objects within atproto. Yeah, let's just generalize that. Let's just make a freaking mess, why don't we? It's kind of funny when you get out to the weeds, like, okay, I think this is the original one. Is that? No. Tag lexicons rather than apps. Where are we at? Publish both. Where did that just go? Or did it just disappear? So actually, I'm just going to actually just I would just say create an index. Okay. So I got a freaking frickety frick, getting messages. This could be an opportunity. No. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Where are we at? I have like a better idea for the design for this thing. This design is freaking ancient. But again, I don't have the freaking time. I don't have, like, the important thing of this thing is the data that it generates. That Got distracted by the messages, of which there seem to be. There's somebody, somebody starts mentioning, or people start getting into a fight in your mentions. It's always great. Some issue mapping. Okay, where the heck was I? Taxonomy for mapping, for freaking frick. Taxonomy for mapping. Now, but this, let's imagine then, let's create an app directory. This is the thing with this, it's goal, would be app directory for. So the taxonomy is actually a bit of the way down. And this is why we do this kind of thing. Provide. Afford the listing. I'm going to say instead of provide a search, because the search is different. It's just afford the listing. The listing of atproto lexicons by theme and or semantic content. Because we can already do this. And the thing that I'm going to be getting to is we can already do this. This is a solved problem in RDF land. Okay. The goal would be, is it a goal? This is the thing with goals. Is it a goal or is it a target? Goal is going to be so when we say things about goals, we say the goal is we want to get more people using it. We want to benefit the people that are making apps. What is the actual goal? It's actually a good question. What is the actual goal? So this is anyway. This should just still generalize create a taxonomy. So you're gonna freaking need it. Right? Again, this is where we started. Starting to get crazy. I'm having a thinky in my brain here. I definitely, every time I look at this frickin' thing, I'm angry at it because it's like I need like a month, like just a solid month just to work on this visualization. Like at least I could do 2 months easily. I could do 3, just like an entire quarter, like just munging with the graphics in general. But anywho, when these are sparse, they look real dodgy, because when there's like more stuff in them, they look a lot. They look like this. They look like a blank screen. They look real angry, because you woke the poor tab from its slumber. Now I gotta wait on it. Oh, there you are. Anytime, buddy, there you are. See, when you have more stuff on them, they look more interesting. When you have less stuff on them, they look like a little bit funny. Okay. Back to the document we are trying to peel the stuff out of. Okay. Gonna fill out the SCOS stuff. Where'd that go? For the listing of atproto lexicons by theme, it's like Y lexicons. Oh, what did we do like Y lexicons? Did we do Y lexicons? No, we did not. Oops, question. Y lexicons and not apps. Why next? Oh, yeah. I think this is where we say, yeah, if 2 apps. So this is the thing. This is sort of where it's tough to be like, is it a position or is it an argument? I'll just leave that for now because we've already sort of answered it. This is sort of like an issue with the actual thing itself, not an issue with the thing that we're trying to do. So we'll deal with it in a bit. I don't like this. This is taking up way too much space. That's not right. I mean, I know why it's doing it. It just bothers me. Publish the taxonomy up to the protocol, yes. Developers benefit by increased findability. Publish both the taxonomy. Where'd you go? Am I like smoking rocks here? Where the hell did the thing go? Did I not write it down? Lexicon. Or is it not in there? Oh. That's why. So this will just be your response. Actually, so it's like publish. This is not a sub thing though. It is a. Forward the indexing. So let's create the index. You can sort of see the like. Computers. Okay. Whatever. WTF EVAR. Yeah, what is the goal? I guess developers, what did I call it? Developers got better. Developers benefit by increased findability. Come on, buddy. Oh, I'm on it. What am I doing? Jesus. Developers benefit by increased findability. Users benefit by guess we'd also say like, where is this like taxonomy? It's funny, like when you go and create these things, you're like, okay, how do you get, like, how does your logic get from one point to the next? You know, like it's really good at doing that. Like you're like, I can't screw around. Like I can't do any sort of like logical leaps here. This freaking thing. Stay off, you little bastard. My earbuds are possessed. They have the one on the right ear has the contacts. So they're like Jabras. They're Jabras. They have the contacts. So the newer ones are induction, but these ones are actual like copper or brass or whatever. And they have scratches on them, or they've got gunk and scratches on them. So they actually do not, they get in the way, they get messed up. So I have to like jiggle them, otherwise they come back to life in their case, and then they pair to the phone, and then they run out of batteries, and the phone speaker doesn't work while they're plugged in, because anyway, it's a whole freaking mess. I need new headphones, or need new earbuds, but I don't want to pay for them right now. They're like $200 freaking dollars. I don't want to. I don't want to. They like. Anyway. So, create an index of atproto lexicons by theme and/or semantic content. Developers benefit by increased findability. What do the users get? Users can browse without being overwhelmed. I don't freaking know. From familiar categories without being choices. Less overwhelmed by what I like. Whatever. No, now you're taking your sweet time. Okay, there you go. Why lexicons? There's the heater. What I find is like, even if you spend like an hour doing this, like you kind of like you get the you get most of the ideas out of the way. You get them kind of figured out. Theme and/or semantic content. Okay, so I need to go over here. the SCOS people have already figured out pretty much. Have already figured out. SCOS is stable. And more or less figured out, and has already, in its proponents, already fairly exhaustively plumbed. Another thing that I would say is existing like being able to import existing concepts, SCOS concept schemes into lexicon would be useful. There would be value. Are already existing SCOS concept schemes. SCOS is already deployed in e.g. content management systems, and as such, interoperability, there's value in it, and there's always value in interoperability. Those systems could permeate, Is there interoperability means, so interoperability means permeability between those systems? I don't know. I'm just gonna leave that. Leave that as an exercise to the reader. I don't need to spell it the frickin' hell out for you, do I? Why should we do the obvious thing that is obviously valuable? Why should we spend any effort doing this obviously valuable thing? I don't like it when you do that. Okay, we're not quite done with that yet. SCOS already have to lexicon. Where did all your little baubles go? Why do you decide to do this? That doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, algorithms. Oh, graphics algorithms. I mean, I would say this, if SCOS, this is like another exercise to the or let's say like if SCOS is portable to lexicon, could other RDF vocabularies also be portable? Of course. Oh, you're getting slow again on me. I don't like it when it does this. I know why it does it, and I don't like why or that it does it. Determine the extent to which, like the footprint, if there's a usable footprint, RDF, which lexicon and RDF are isomorphic, or at least that lexicon, that the space of stuff, or at least that the range of lexicon, or at least is a subset of range expressive. That's a stretch goal. That's what I think would be. I think that would be useful. I think that's manifestly useful. I should make those grayed out while the things are loading, but I'm also too lazy. I mean, this thing just everything has to get blown up. The thing that's important about this tool is the fact that it's producing like structured data. That's the thing that matters the most for now. Structured data that can be like consumed by other stuff. How do we represent the themes? This is how we create the taxonomy. Where's the response taxonomy? Oh, come on, you bastard. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're getting there. Creative lexicon for concepts. So like the index itself, like so for what would be useful though is like a change, like so changes. I mean, atproto is a thing that happens over time, right? So there's probably going to be like a more of a, so like if there was like a log of changes to concepts, merge and split. So like if you were going to, it's going to go back to that. It's freaking hard to look at when it's in this configuration. So say, for example, if like two concepts merge into one splits off into two, you know, and then like what happens to the things, right? Like, I mean, you could basically compute. I'm going to just say also the topology. Which is much less restrictive. I mean, not exactly set theoretic. It's like, it's kind of set theoretic light, but whatever. It's like, not, yeah. Which is a much more modern take. I'd say that actually. It's a much more, more enlightened take on organizing. That's my editorializing. I'm allowed to do that. Are you done? Did you go? You did, right? I'm just gonna like snag this, just see. Yes, okay. Let me go back to that. I want to redo this damn freaking, like every time I look at this freaking visualization, I'm just like, I want to take an, it's like if I didn't have to like hustle for like 2 months, I would just work on this, just this visual design. Anyway. This feels like, see, this is the thing, is this feels like a freaking position. I mean, it's a statement of fact. Like a position is like, okay, I mean, if you're looking at this, like the pink, red, whatever dots are issues, the green ones are positions, and the blue ones are arguments. And an argument, so like in IBIS, an argument is a separate entity, and I found like just through using it, like an argument like actually behaves more like a subclass of an issue. But then I went and I also added like goals and targets and stuff like that, which are like even more subclassy. And then I noticed that like an argument is kind of like a decorator almost. But then I also noticed, like working through this, and this is like a part that I haven't implemented yet, is that any issue, like an argument could also almost be like a decorator for anything. It's like, so you could just be like, by dint of using this thing as a response, it's an argument either way. That's kind of like where I am finding things go. If you look at the original GIBIS paper from 1988, because this is not original, right? Like this is something that has been in the freaking world for 50 plus years, and I just happen to me, this is my take on it. And so the first time it was digitized was 1988, and one of the things that they say is that like the vast majority, like if you look at all the classes of entities that they had people categorizing or doing issue mapping, and they found that like people left, like more than half of them were untagged. They were just a remark or a note or something like that, so they didn't even rate as like as an issue or a position or an argument. It was just like a note, just like a, oh, by the way kind of a situation. So maybe I should like prioritize. It's just all these things to do and nobody's paying for it. So, you know, I got to do the things that people pay for. Anyway, proto app theme. Create taxonomy for atproto. So this I think is the entry point now. This is sort of the thing, and you would transform this if you hit that button. You turn that into a task. So this is currently it's a position, but this would turn it into a task, and it would get like if I just click that, right? Takes a freaking light year to do that. Why are some things so freaking slow and some things are fast? Anyway, you can see it's now minty green. And there's a bunch of shit. And it's like who, what. Anyway, that's... I'll turn that back into a position because we're not there yet. Position. This is a thing like in my research with all of this business, you can see now it's more of a limey green than a minty green now. But in my experience, like especially when you're doing like information-y stuff and you're just trying to take like an inventory of like the stuff that you like, the issues that you know are issues, you know, like where do you put that down, right? It's like the reason why I made this thing, it's like it's online, it's addressable, it's a place you can go on the internet, you can take the URL, you can put it in an email, you can put it in a message, you can put it, you know, wherever the hell you need to put it in front of people's faces. They go to it, they see the same thing you do. And, you know, so it doesn't get lost. There's another thing that I would say is like an organizing principle that has been an organizing principle for me for freaking years. Is it comes from Christopher Alexander's PhD dissertation, where he's like, yo, like designers, you know, people even in general will agree that a particular like issue, design concern, is valid. Where they disagree is on how important it is. And so in my experience with like requirements analysis and stuff, like what happens is effectively like valid concerns that the valid concern, sorry, some freaking spam came up on Twitch. Valid concerns get disappeared because they valid concerns will get like blown up and disappeared because they just like get lost effectively. And so the thing to be concerned about is like, you know, like just not losing the thing. And so, you know, part of the motivation behind this tool is that, like, you know, if you can see it's got my name on there, well, you know, there's other people can have their concerns. And there's even a stupid like button. There's a thumbs up that will, that's like very immature design-wise. It's not gonna, but anyway. So where the hell was I here? Yeah. So just reading back here. Is there prior art? Where is the prior art thing? Is this it? Prior art's going to be in here somewhere. Prior art should not, that's not going to be the, I mean, is there prior art in general? It's just, where are we here? Is there a prior art? Is there prior art? Is there prior art on an index, a thematic index, a thematic index of prior art on, I mean, there is. I'm just going to put this here too right now. I don't know. So now it's chugging. I don't know why, anyway, I don't know. No, I'm going to get rid of that. I don't like that there. I'll go back to the like prior art question. Or is it an issue? I don't even know. I would say just crib. Is the prior art on indexing thematic? Crib the RDF ecosystem. Indexing data vocabularies. It's kind of funny, actually. I went and I looked at Lov, and it surprisingly, it just uses like text tags, doesn't use SCOS, which is, I would put that, if I had like just this thing had vanilla notes, I would just put that in right now, but boo, I should just do that. Target. Maybe I should just, oh, no. It's one of those, like, I could spend the rest of the week, like, noodling on it, and I don't have time. In the top of the spot, I have a spot on the top of my head where I got it with it was either the gyro or like one of the little thingies that holds the brake cable of a BMX. It's just clipped right on the top of my head. And sometimes it spontaneously itches, especially in the winter when it's cold and dry. And like, no, I wasn't wearing a helmet. And it's actually kind of funny because like, I was riding a bike. I was riding this BMX like a freaking hooligan. I would have been like 20 something. And the crank comes off. Like it just comes off, the whole thing. And of course I bail, but I was wearing like a freaking Kevlar, like stupid tactical backpack. I mean, it wasn't too tactical. It was freaking Toomey though. And I slid on my back like however long, and then the bike flies at my head and just goes ding, just right on the top of my head, and then just like maybe 3/4 of an inch, just this little ding right on the top of my head. No, I have no idea what got it. It's like, I think it's either, it was either the gyro or the brake cable, like the thing that holds the brake cable. Some little piece of metal sticking out, just went shik, and then just blood everywhere. Other than that, I was fine. The backpack was not fine though. The backpack was totally messed up after that. Anyway, fixing data is a prior. Yes, there is the RDF ecosystem. Let's just have like a crib from the RDF ecosystem. the SCOS thing especially. Are you doing it? You did do it. Okay. SCOS. I want to redo this UI. Every time I use this tool, I want to redo the UI. I think another benefit of this is that I would say also that SCOS concepts are distinct, identifiable, addressable entities, or identifiable addressable entities, which data objects, entities, objects which are distinct from their labels, of which it's possible where it's possible to taking your sweet ass time. So you could say like the actual model the changes. So I'll just do like that. It's like model the changes. Model the changes. To index membership. As well as the content and topology, as well as the changes to the topology of the taxonomy itself. So it seems like there should be like an index, like there should be like a log. I mean, I think this is fine. So that's like starting to look more like a thing. Yeah. I think I'm going to stop this for now since everybody's gone. Yeah. Yeah, I might come